Hi, everybody. It's Mark Rushton at markrushtongallery.com. It is Sunday afternoon, March 12th, 2023, and I'm going to be painting on a 10 by 20 canvas here. But first, talk about what I worked on last night here. So this is one of these acrylic ink on spun bonded olefin paintings here. And I've been I do that sort of abstract landscape thing with it. But lately I've been wanting to have like this extra sort of border around it. I've been playing around with the different Rothko effects, whether it be sort of but in a landscape motif. So you get that sort of blurry, hold on here. Let me get the book out for context here. Let me get the book out here. You see how like that is, and that's, he's just got his rectangles. It's not necessarily a landscape motif, but that's what I want to kind of turn it into. He's got this border all the way around here, but in the interior, I want to make it more like a landscape than that sort of, thing that he did, right? But so I kind of want to have like a little an inner sanctum, I guess. I don't know. So that's what I've been working on here. I really got to get a better thing for holding the camera. I really should order one of those, but I'm busy doing a live stream right now. And so the last few days here, I've worked on this one. I don't think this is done yet. And I thought I would spend a small amount of time on this, just kind of tweaking it a little bit, because I still have some issues with it here. So I'm just going to quick work on it, and I'm just going to create like a little paper towel palette over yonder. Don't need much paint. A little bit of pink, a little bit of green, and that's probably it. And so what I'm going to do, I realized that I was a little deficient on the pink landscape over here. So throw that in. And then I thought, well, let's try to buttress that with that, what do they call that there? Brilliant yellow green, which is that's a great color. So I thought I was looking at it and I was like, you know what? It just needs a little pizzazz. Just needs to be jazzed up there a little bit. Well, it's nasty out there. I haven't been outside, but I kind of don't want to go anywhere. It's upper 20s and cloudy and very windy. It's supposed to be in the 50s here on Wednesday. That'll be nice. Stuff will melt. Maybe. Yeah, I thought maybe a lighter green, because this green kind of changes from darker to lighter as we get further back towards the horizon line. I don't know. I don't have the answers. I can't tell you what's good and what's not. Sorry, I'm not an expert. Kind of blend these two in here a little bit. Maybe some things are a little brighter than others. Maybe. Something like that. I think that's what I'll do anyway. We got people showing up. Hi, everybody. Just working on this one here. Filling in the gaps. Trying to make it somewhat better. I don't know. I do not know what's good and what's not good. All right, I think that's probably enough for now. See how that looks. I do want it to be a little bit more not as pronounced further back, so we'll just let that be as it is there. And on to the next one real quick here. I still have the sides to do on that. So I do have a bunch of these 10 by 20s that I had started working on some time ago. And I don't know when I painted these, but I sure like them. They've got that long, kind of cinemascope, for lack of a better term, kind of a cinemascope, that wide. It's 10 by 20. So it's a good, 1-to-2 ratio there. This one is different from the others. I don't know what happened here, but look at this. Look at this here. See this? Look at that. The paint is cracking. The paint is completely cracking on here. And I'm like, why is that paint cracking? This might have been one that was left out in the garage. Look at that. You can just kind of run your hand there and it completely crackles. Well, it's there and it's not as pronounced, but I'm thinking about maybe buying some gesso and just starting over. The gesso would fill in pretty much everything there. But I do like imperfections. I don't know. I kind of want to work on this one. Now I've got another one here too. I've got others. I can't ever finish anything, And this would be a complete rework here, but that's got a ways to go. I was thinking about kind of playing around with this one here, just because it's kind of. Did that paint fall off there? Let's take a look. I mean, it's one thing if it's cracking. It's another thing if it's got adhesion issues. Like, why wouldn't the paint adhere to the canvas? Was there something that I put down? Why is it cracking? I don't know. All right, let's just caution to the wind here. And we'll work on the paint here. Work on the paint aspect of it here. Now, I can't remember if I have any. I think I'm down to just tubes of paint. I don't think I have any more. I think I might have gotten rid of all of my larger tubes of paint because I definitely downsized. I think I did. I think I got rid of all that. I think I got rid of all the quartz, I think I got rid of all the quartz there. See, my whole thing is to get away from these. I used to buy quarts and half gallons, and then I started buying these 8 ounces. And now I really only like to buy the 4 ounce. And I know it's not as good of a deal. It does cost a little bit more, but I like, unless I'm working on something huge, I don't work on anything huge anymore. I like to have the flexibility of being able to just run with it there. That's kind of just my thoughts anyway. When you buy a big tube like this, you spend half the time squeezing all the air out of it, right? And then you're prone to use, if you're not working large, you're prone to use a large tube less often, and then you end up, things crack and break, or you got like this. It falls off, and it just becomes a mess. So I think there's some value in using these smaller tubes. It's for me anyway. Your mileage may vary. What are we going to do here? What a mess. Let's go down to the bottom of the. You know what? I still have a pint left of the fire red. And oh my God, how old is this? Nap Crimson, heavy body. I don't think this is that old. Well, it might be older than you think. Nap Crimson is what my art teacher, my first painting teacher, said. Just get Nap Crimson. That's why I get Nap Crimson there. Acrylic polymer emulsion. I don't want any red on this one. And then I would buy like these really cheap paints just to kind of play around with it. Not because I was being cheap, but just because let's just see what that's like. And then I just, oh, here's another tube. Look, I got an ultramarine and a Nap Crimson, both heavy bodies. Well, I have a lot of yellow here, so let's what do I got here? Got Mars Black, and I got let's mix in a little bit of this really cheap paint and a little bit of Mars Black. Doesn't take much here. That work? Nope. We clogged up. I think we're clogged up here. And that's how you make Bondo. You ever do that? You ever Bondo a car or JB weld something? Right? So you get the two ingredients and you got to mix them together real quick. Like this. It's like this. You can mix that JB weld together. Mix the Bondo together. I really don't like to mix paint. I like to lather it on and see what happens. We need a little blue in that. Oh, look, we got blue right here. How about that? How about that? Doesn't take much. Doesn't take much to cause trouble. Guys. I don't know how much snow we got. When I shoveled it, it had compacted. So it was down to like maybe 3.5 inches. But you look at the deck and it was like 5 or 6 inches on the deck. So on the deck railing. That's probably about how much we had. It was a 33-degree snow, A little too gray, but that's all right. We'll put another layer on here. I just kind of want to cover up the cracked portions here. We can worry about everything else soon. I just kind of want to get a layer on, All right. I'm bound to make a mess here. Is this blurry? It's blurry. Guys, tell me when it's blurry. There we go. This camera has a hard time. I have this good light on here, but it just doesn't, autofocus. All right, so we get this kind of ochre here in the middle, and I don't think I have any ochre. So what are we going to do? Going to go with orange? Might as well. Might as well. Not trying to replicate anything. I'm just trying to cover it over. Get that first layer on. A little bit of mix in there on the horizon. Love those horizons. Whoa, scrape it off there. Yeah, I really got to get like a camera that mounts up a little higher, and I don't, I have to bang around that there. I don't know. And then what do we got here? Kind of a pale, the palest of the yellows. Let's make it a little brighter, huh? What do you say? This is a problem. All right, we'll do this one here. I got to get rid of these big tubes. You're an Eric. Eric Copeland, yes. Yeah. I think you posted earlier. Or earlier in the day. Yes. He's a good resource. He's a really good resource. He comes at it from the the teaching side, the music production side, the music, and his recent advice to everybody about if you got library tracks or whatever, if you can release them on Spotify, then do it. Just to let everybody know, I'm also a recording artist. I just do the visual art here for as an additional kind of side hustle, and also for my album artwork. But yeah, Eric had a live stream. I think it was yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? And he was going on about I don't know. He does like a kind of state of everything or things that you should be doing. Yes, my feeling is that musicians, recording artists shouldn't just leave their music sitting on hard drives. Get them out there, pitch every single one. So release music, release something new every 3 weeks or so if you can, and 3 or 4 weeks, and that's what I do. If you have a lot of music, then release it under pseudonyms. Group it together. Being sloppy here. Is this in focus? It's in focus. Actually focused on library. I do have music on Spotify, but very good. Yes, you should be everywhere. Focused on library. Oh, are you sync? Are you pitching sync libraries? or stock music libraries? Are you putting it in stock music libraries? Are you pitching sync? I'm just starting to I'll leave this up here. I'm just starting to pitch sync music libraries right now, which is crazy because I should have done this like a decade ago, but I didn't know anything about it. And I've taken Jesse Josephson, Sync My Music, Sync Academy. I use the list of libraries that he provides, and then my wife and I kind of culled that down a little bit, and it really has just taken many months to figure out which libraries to start pitching to, and then I build playlists in Disco. This is clogged up too. What a mess. See, that's right. These large tubes, they just get clogged up. Focused on sync, starting out with stock. Yeah. I started putting some stuff on Pond 5 last year. I haven't had any sales, but that's okay. I don't have that much out there. I have a pretty big catalog. I've been publishing music for over 20 years, and I'm going to tune this down a little bit here. And so it's not like I want to get everything out there. I just want to put certain things out there that I think might work well for, creators on a budget that are looking for certain kinds of music, whether it be, independent filmmakers, student filmmakers, things like that. They could just pay a flat fee and use it. I'm perfectly fine with that. I know people like that, so it's just like start off with a low price and work on that. And then, I also some of that music I put into my podcast, which I've been doing for a long time. Stock is interesting, but I think really kind of where the thing is more moving to more mid-tier and then back. Well, yeah, I guess exclusive sync. Yeah. I suppose it depends on what kind of music that you create too as well. I mean, I'm kind of ambient and electronic, maybe ambient, avant-garde-ish genres. So I'm not trying to create a specific kind of music. I'm not making tension music, or I'm not making metal or jazz or anything like that. I'm kind of stuck in my own world there. But that's all right. But kind of like here, I'm just, having fun. I don't watch the sports ball anymore. I don't watch the news or anything like that. I just I like to turn on the camera and just do this. I tried to set up for like playing, like live streaming music, and it's such a hassle. Even today, I tried to figure that out a decade ago, and I mean, there's ways you can do it, but it's just a pain. Pond 5 is a cloud server. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I use Disco. I've been a Disco user for the past year, a little bit over a year, and Disco's not easy to use, but once you kind of figure it out, I can see how it has significant value as far as for and just I think a certain level of it. It I kind of feel like it demonstrates that I kind of got my. You really have to be organized with disco. I mean, but there's other ways to do it too. I'm not saying that's the end all be all. In fact, I would say that interface, the disco interface, is very confusing, and I have debated on whether or not I should continue to use. But I'm paying for another year, so New Age Cinematic, yes, Cinematic, that's great. Huge market for that. That's great. SoundCloud, yeah. I had a SoundCloud Pro account up until about 2013 or so, and then they changed some things with the interface, and I went back down to uh, just a freebie accounts, just freebie accounts. But well, I I think I'm going to wrap this up here, but I'll finish your question here, Arco. Am I on Eric's Discord? Yeah, I left. I can't be on any music forums or anything like that because uh, there's too many people out there who how do I say it? They have a ridiculous bias against streaming services and then the way the music industry is today. And I've had such relative success with streaming. I mean, I make my living now as a recording artist. I am trying to get a day job again, but I can pay the bills and everything with myself as a recording artist, just from streaming and licensing and everything like that. So when I go out to these forums and these discords and these slacks and everything like that, I always encounter these people who they don't they're very pointed. They're very anti-streaming. They think they think that too many people make music, and what's the other thing? Well, there's too much mediocre music out there. Like, what? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Right? So, and you can't debate these people, and they have a little bee in their bonnet about that sort of thing, and if somebody else is doing well, they get all upset. Key towards success is to stay open. Absolutely, that one can learn. Yes, absolutely. You have to have an open mind. That's one thing I've learned here in the last few years here, as things have really ramped up. Is that I open myself up to licensing possibilities and playlisting and pitching on a regular basis, and all these things have turned out in my favor. And so now I'm kind of turning my attention towards sync, but I'm not really a musician, so I don't really make music specifically for a thing. So I have to find it's going to take a long time to find a catalog. I expect to be rejected quite a bit, but I've tried to do my due diligence with regard to these libraries, pick the right ones, not the biggest ones, just some that I think I might fit in with really well, or maybe they do that kind of stuff here. Do I have an email? Well, yeah. You can go out to, well, all my information is out at, here real quick. Just go to markrushton.com and you can find all my contact information there. It's my name, markrushton@gmail.com. actually kind of have my own. I do kind of have my own little uh, Discord channel that I was going to have with a buddy, but he wasn't into it. And I've had Slacks in the past, so it is nice to connect with people who are like-minded, I would say. So yeah, feel free to email. Feel free to email, and we'll be in touch here. But I'm done with this for now, and I'm gonna run. My wife and I have got to go do something, but I've got one more comment here. Get in touch. Oh, great! Well, thanks for showing up. And this is good. This is a good start here. I'm gonna see if this doesn't continue to crack. If it does, I'm gonna continue to kind of play around with this here. Kind of an interesting, just a fun time waster. I can't believe this many people showed up too. What a blast, right? So anyway, this is Mark Rushton of markrushtongallery.com. Think about joining my mailing list. It's right out there. You just sign right up on the thing that says mailing list, and kind of stay in touch with what I do on a weekly basis. And talk to you later.